Hello everyone, and welcome back to another crafting session. Thank you for joining me. Sometimes when I have to think of what we're going to craft, it's difficult to come up with a good idea. However, I discovered that the 30th of January is International Draw a Dinosaur Day. So here's our clue. And I thought we would, just to stay out of Mom's hair, we would try this. Now, health warning, it's messy. So make sure you have a messy surface. Make sure you have wet cloth to wipe your hands. Make sure you work in a place that's easy to clean. And don't forget to help Mom to clean up afterwards. But what are we going to need for our craft today? We're going to need a paper plate or two. We're going to need some paint, brushes. We're going to need a glue stick. We're going to need our scissors. We're going to need some string. I found this lovely sparkly stuff I thought we would use. You're going to need a stapler. You're going to need a pen, a pencil, and a bit of green. But the first dinosaur we're going to make, all you will need is your paint. So I would suggest you paint your plates today and you do the rest of the craft tomorrow once the paint has dried. Or you can put it somewhere warm where it will dry very quickly. So, shall we make a start? I'll pop all these things to a side for now. Give us some space to work. So the first thing, I didn't say, I've pre-prepared some eyes. If you've got those googly eyes, you can use them. Otherwise, draw a circle with your black pen, make a little black dot in the middle, cut them out. So first we're going to need our paper plate that we have painted, and I've done mine here. And we're going to make a little dinosaur that looks a bit like this one. A little stegosaurus. So can you see the legs are the same color as the body, but all the spikes are the other color. So that's why I painted my plate like that. So let's get cracking. First thing, you can use your pencil if you want, but if you're brave enough, you don't. So we can draw the little head over here, something like that. And then we need to have some legs. And I'm just drawing my shapes here. Where do we want to go? Here. And here. Whoops. You have to be careful where you draw your line because you don't want to go in the wrong place. So I've drawn some legs and I've drawn the shape of my head. Now we grab our scissors and we cut it out. So bear with me while I cut it out. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. Save your snips. I'm going to reuse some of them. You can draw the legs of your dinosaurs any way you like. Those of you who have an interest in dinosaurs, these are the front covers of some of the books we have in the library that you can borrow on that topic. So we go cut, cut, cut. Cut, cut, cut. Save your snips. So for my next trick, we have to cut all the spikes. Oh, that one went a bit squint. Especially these ones, you need to save. Don't wave your scissors about, you'll take an eye out. What did my father always say? Don't do as I do, do as I tell you. He was right. Because we're all human, and even grown-ups can forget a little bit and make a mistake. And the world is a better place if we can forgive each other for that. So I'm just cutting out my spikes here, every which way. You don't really need to draw them. If you're uncertain, then of course do that. But sometimes you can just see where you need to go in your mind's eye, and you just know it's the right thing to do. Go for it. You can't go wrong. So, nearly there, nearly there. We get up to a point, and you have to judge it a little bit. I think one more spike, and then we are there. So now, I have this bit left here. That's going to be the tail. So, chop, chop, chop. Just like that. So there's my dinosaur. I think he needs a smile. And I've cut a smile, just like that. So all 4 feet, all the spikes. Now we need the tail. So I painted a little bit of green on it. So what I'll do, it doesn't matter because it will be hidden. So see all our snips that we've left? We use them to put some spikes on our tail. I use my stapler. Be careful, don't staple your fingers. It really hurts, I can tell you that much. So how about that? There's my tail with its spikes on. And now we stick the tail on our dinosaur, just like that. See? We've got it stapled on. And now what do we need? An eye. So, having pre-prepared my eye, I now use my glue to stick it on. Ready, steady. And depending on which way you stick it, the dinosaur can look surprised or happy or even angry. But I'm going to make a happy dinosaur because that's what we want. And just like that, we have our dinosaur. Now, what kind of dinosaur is this? Well, it must be a stegosaurus because of the spikes. So why don't we make another one? Now, here's the thing. Language is lovely, but in different parts of the world, different people pronounce things differently. So the next one we're going to make is, the Americans say Diplodocus. I say Diplodocus. You will say it anyway. As long as people understand where you're going, that's all you need to do. So for that, I'm going to need my paper plate and a bit of green card because I've painted my plate green. I've also stuck some dots on it, but you can paint the dots if you want. Or you can paint stripes, or you can, who knows what color dinosaurs were? We don't know. We just make it up as we go along. So, or we make what they call educated guesses. So we need our plate, and this time we have to fold our plate double. So, very carefully, fold it double. Not too flat, but make sure you've got your fold. So, this is our dinosaur's body. So we need a head, and we need a tail. And if it's going to be a Diplodocus, I think the tail will hang down nice long neck will come up. And the way to do that is set your bit of card down, set your body down, grab your pencil, and we draw a nice long neck. And they have small heads, don't they? So I have drawn my neck, and I need to draw a little bit on because that's going to go into the body and we're going to staple it. And then we need the tail, and the tail wants to hang down. And I'm trying to work economical with my card. So if I put my plate down with a little bit of overlap, I can use this little bit to make a tail. So something like that, and we cut them out. So bear with me while I do that. I don't really know what a diplodocus's head shape is, but I think something like that will work for us. Let's do the tail. If you have a lot of card, you don't have to be so stingy with it the way I am, but I try to reuse as much as I can. We save our snips. Right, I've got a tail and I've got a head. I am going to need some legs. So, for my next trick, I cut a strip, and I cut another strip, and I find where is the center. Just like that, and here I have 4 legs. Now, having put dots all over my dinosaur, I can put dots all over the head and the neck as well. But because of time, and because I'm a little bit lazy, I'm just going to use my pen. Now, for my legs, I need to draw some toes. So here we go. Remember to work on a surface you can easily clean. Don't write on Mom's walls, or the floor, or the cat, or anything else. Write on paper. That's what paper is for. So, I've got my toenails, but I have 2 sides. So I have to do toenails on the other side also. And here we go. Last one, and my tail can probably do with some decoration. Let's do some on the other side, because you might see your dinosaur from 2 sides. How about we do the same on the neck? And maybe he has a smile. And he's going to need eyes also. So, more glue. And stick an eye on. And more glue. Stick. Now you've got to pay attention, because depending on which way the eye goes on the one side, it's got to go the same way on the other side. Otherwise your dinosaur will look squint. So there we go. What do we do next? Well, I think we need to stick the neck in. So we fold our plate double, we put the dinosaur neck inside with the extra bit that you're going to use to staple it. So here we go, ready, steady. There's the neck is in. And now the tail. So I'll put the tail over here. I think one staple will hold the tail. And then we just fasten the rest of the plate. So we have our dinosaur body, but it's got no legs. How are we going to put the legs on? Here's the trick. We use our scissors, we make a tiny little slit, about so far away from each other. And another little tiny slit, and another little tiny slit. I was too quick with my staples. See, everyone can make a mistake. No matter, we can still work with it. Don't lose your bits. We have to make the holes for the legs first. So we use our pencil and we just poke the hole a little bit bigger. Just like that. Just like that. And we do the same with our legs. We make a little snip in our leg for a little hole. A little snip in the leg for a little hole. Another one. Don't cut too far. You just need to cut a little bit in order to create the little hole. Next, we use our sparkly string. And we take a length, don't be too stingy, because you're going to have to make some knots. So I've got 2 bits of string. What do? I put the string through the hole in my leg and I tie a knot on. If it will work. Today doesn't seem to be a lucky day for me. And we go again. There we go. Now we put our string through the hole in our paper plate, all the way through, and back through again. Now you have to be sure that your holes are on the line of the fold. And we take our next leg, and we put the string through the hole. Can you see that? Sometimes it's a bit difficult. And we make a knot, because we don't want the legs to fall off. And another knot. And we have 2 legs. See? Now, we do the same for the leftover legs. Ready, steady. Sometimes you can use your pencil to poke a bigger hole, but be sure it doesn't rip all the way through, because that will never work. If it rips through, you'll have to make a new leg. Or maybe you can sticky tape it together. So I've got 1 leg on. My string goes through my hole in my paper plate. So it will go. And it goes back out through the other hole to get to the next leg. I've got glue on my fingers from putting the eyes on. And we tie on our last leg, just like this. Right over left, left over right. That makes a granny knot. Right, our dinosaur has legs. Now we put the head back on, having pulled it off previously because I was too quick with my stapler. And we put the tail back on. Do be careful, staples are really sharp. And if you pull them out the way I did there, then you have to be careful to put them in the bin. So now we fasten the paper plate, and we have one dinosaur. Now maybe you want to hang this up in your window because the legs are very interesting when they move. And to do that, we cut ourselves another bit of string. We put the two ends together, and we tie a nice fat knot in there. And we put our little bit of string right where it needs to go, and with our stapler, there we go, right in the middle, and there's your Diplodocus or Diplodocus, and there's your Stegosaur. I hope you have fun making these. Don't make my mistakes. They say it's better to learn from someone else's mistakes because it comes cheap. It doesn't cost you anything because you've already seen where the other person went wrong. So that's a bit of good advice. There's our dinosaurs, and I will see you next time with another craft. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.